What is up, my butter biscuits? So in today's video, obviously, as you guys can tell by the title of the video, I have another review for you. So I'm going to be reviewing the brand new one size turn up the base butter silk concealer. It's been a hot minute since I've even tried a concealer because honestly, I don't really wear concealers too much anymore. I feel like the older I get, the less product I want to use. And y'all, recently I've just been into more of like a medium coverage foundation, not even really like full coverage. So I'm like, you know what? I don't even really need a concealer. However, I was intrigued to try this because I know everybody loved the one size powder, which I still have not tried. I'm just so in love with my Makeup Forever Matte Velvet Skin Powder that I just already know in my head it's going to be really hard to beat that. However, I was thinking about doing like a versus video with that powder and then with that powder. I don't know if you guys are interested in that. Let me know. Also, before we get into this video, for those of you that have not seen, I made a second channel. So on that channel, I'm like so excited, y'all. My first video is already up, so go ahead and check it out. I'll leave it linked down below. On that second channel, I'm basically going to be doing kind of like more personal videos. You know what I'm saying? Not just makeup and commentary. On there, I'm literally going to be doing like food reviews, vlogs, travel vlogs, couples videos, just all types of random things, like videos with my friends again, because it's been such a hot minute since I've done videos with my friends, like Truth or Shot. I'm actually going to be filming that pretty soon, like just random things like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm really excited for that channel. Like I kind of feel like there's a lot of things that I wanted to do, but it just didn't make sense on this channel. You know what I mean? Like a food review on here would be kind of random if all I do is like makeup and commentary. You get me? So on there, I'm going to be doing that. But anyways, y'all, make sure you guys follow that. I would really appreciate it. I'm really excited to try this. Before we go ahead and jump into this, I'm in the shade medium 1N, and I do want to say right off the bat that I actually swatched them at Sephora, and they did kind of like dry down darker than they appear. So if you guys are interested in that, make sure you guys let it dry on your hand first before purchasing it, because I believe that I wanted to get the shade medium 2, and then as soon as it dried down, I was like, oh no, that ends up being a little bit too dark, and this one actually dried down to be a pretty close match to what I would use. So anyways, if you guys are interested in seeing my review of this concealer, of course, go ahead and keep on watching. If y'all are new here, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button, turn on your post notifications so that way you'll get notified when I upload a new video, and make sure I'll give this video a big thumbs up. I would really appreciate that. And let's go ahead and get into it. All right, y'all, so I'm gonna go ahead and read the details from Sephora. So this is actually available in 25 shades, I believe it is, or 24 shades. So this says that it is medium to full coverage, which I like, because for the longest time, y'all, the Tarte Shape Tape concealer was literally my #1 favorite. However, like I said, the older I got, the more I'm like, you know what, I do not need this much product on my face. Back in the day, I was like, y'all, I just want to look like Photoshop in person. And now I'm like, you know what, I'm okay with my pecca showing through, my freckles showing through. I'm like, okay with that. You know, when I was younger, I was like, no, I want to cover everything. And now I'm like, my skin is okay. You know what I mean? It's not the best, but it's okay. So anyways, this is what it... Okay, something just fell off my desk. There's a ghost in here. I'm just playing. Anyway, so this is what it says on the Sephora website. By the way, too, this does retail for $25. So I do consider this to be kind of pricey. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like a normal concealer is like, what, like 20 bucks, 22 bucks? I don't, maybe I haven't bought a concealer in a long time. I do know the Shape Tape is like 27 bucks, though. That's really expensive. So this is what it says on Sephora. An all-day wear, do-it-all, medium to full coverage concealer that acts as the most targeted texture solver, gliding on skin like butter on toast. Speaking of toast, he did come out, Patrick Starrr did come out with a toast like sponge. I want to say that is like the most awkward looking sponge, and I would just never buy that. I saw people using it like on TikTok and Instagram videos on the one size page, and I was like, this does not look like it'll be a good sponge. You know what I'm saying? Like just the shape of it and how thick it is, it just seems really weird to use. And I actually did watch his video about this concealer, and he was using it, and I was like, I don't like that at all. It just looks weird. I don't like the shape. So it says on here coverage full, even though it says right there in the what it is, medium to full coverage. So it says the finish is matte. It's liquid. It's liquid. Normal dry. It's good for normal dry or combination oily skin. Typical Sephora. You know what? I always say that all the time. They always like advertise everything as it's good for every single skin tone. I don't know about that. He does say within his video actually that this dries down really fast. So I do want to see how it is on some drier parts of my face. Typically like my nose will get a little bit dry. So I do want to try it on there. Also, before we get into this video, I'm going to be wearing a beanie later. So I'm not going to put on anything on my forehead. So I'm just pretty much going to be testing this out underneath my eyes, as well as on the side of my lips, my smile lines, and my nose. So that's where we're going to test it. So this is what it says. Highlighted ingredients: caffeine helps visibly depuff and support skin. Avocado and mango butters hydrate and nourish to smooth texture. Exclusive peptide blend supports natural collagen to help improve texture. So it says what else do you need to, or what else you need to know. This waterproof and oil controlling concealer uses texture solving ingredients to visibly smooth skin. The buttery coated pigments allow enough playtime for this formula to do it all: spot, treat, conceal, brighten under eyes, and shape face. It also does not cake, crease, or transfer. That's another reason why I want to try it on my nose, because it's so weird that my nose is, has a little bit of dry areas. However, throughout the day it does get very oily, and with the mask, oh y'all, wearing the mask, it just peels it off of my nose and I look horrible. So I am going to be wearing a mask later because I will be going out to dinner, so I do want to see how this holds up while wearing a mask. So this is what it says at the bottom, the final thing, the clinical results. It says, in a consumer testing study, it says 97% said it glided smoothly on skin, 97% said it minimized the dark circles and puffiness, and 94% said it smoothed and blurred skin texture. So what I'm going to go ahead and do right now to save time on this video, because y'all know my reviews get so, I was going to say so loud, so long. I'm going to go ahead and do my foundation off of camera, and then I'm gonna come back and then do this concealer on camera so that way we can see how it works. All right, y'all, so I have my foundation on. I know I'm gonna look really funky at first. I'm not gonna be putting foundation on my forehead once again because I'm gonna throw on my beanie, because I'm going out to dinner and I want to throw on my beanie. I just feel like I look better when I wear a beanie. I don't know. Anyways, also, I avoided putting any foundation on the side of my nose, the side of my lips right here, because I want to see how this wears. Underneath my eyes, normally I would put foundation and then put concealer. However, I wanted to see how the coverage is on this concealer. Just letting you guys know right off the bat, though, I'm not going to be looking for like a full coverage. I'm sure you can build it up. However, like I said, now that I'm older, I just kind of like a little bit more of a medium coverage. I kind of feel like wearing a whole full coverage is just too much for me now, which is so crazy because if you guys check out my videos from years ago, it's like, whoo, y'all, I would pack on the concealer and the foundation and everything. And now I'm like, you know what? I like my skin to be a little bit more natural. My only problem with my skin now is like pretty much just like my wrinkles and my redness. Those two things, really bother me. Anyways, y'all. Once again, I am in the shade medium 1N. Just to let you guys know, I do need to like use a little bit of a darker foundation because I did get tan while I was in Barcelona. But right now I'm using the Toasted Coconut 240N mixed with the 03 Light Glowish foundation. That has kind of been my recent favorite. I love mixing those together. I kind of feel like it gives me the just amount of coverage that I want, as well as the finish that I want. It's not like overly matte, but it's not like overly dewy. When I first did my review of this, y'all, I was like, oh, this is way too dewy for me. I look like a glazed donut. I said that like 57 times within that video, and then now I actually really, really love it. So anyways, y'all, I'm gonna go ahead and start this off with applying this underneath my eye, and let's go ahead and see if it has a smell. I know a lot of people always tell me like, oh, you forgot to see if it has a scent, but this doesn't smell like anything. So I'm just gonna go ahead and just take one little line right there and then just kind of like blend it out. Once again, y'all, when I was in the Sephora store and I was actually like swatching these, it does look really, really light at first, and then it does dry down to be different. So I'm taking my Fenty Beauty sponge and I'm just gonna go ahead and blend this out so we can see the coverage underneath the eye. I'm really curious to see how this wears underneath the eye, because I know that Patrick Starrr has opened up before about his under eyes being a concern of his, and his wrinkles and stuff like that underneath his eyes. So I'm low-key kind of expecting this to be really good, because I feel like that's probably something that he did keep in mind while creating this. So let's see, because y'all, let me tell you, recently I've been looking into things to do for my under eye because the wrinkles have just been so bad. Well, the wrinkles have been so bad while I'm wearing foundation, because honestly, when I don't wear them, I don't even notice them. Okay, so that is the coverage right there on this eye before I set it. I will say that little bit of concealer definitely went a long way. I feel like this is definitely more so on the full coverage side. However, it is definitely not as full coverage as the Tarte Shape Tape, which is something that, even though that like low-key, if I do have to say, it's like one of my favorite concealers. However, I kind of steered away from it because I just feel like that is like, woo, extra coverage. I feel like this looks pretty good. It is a little bit more on the full coverage side, I would say, but not the extreme full coverage. I am going to be taking a little bit of this on the side of my smile line right here, as well as on my nose and all that good stuff, because I definitely want to see how it wears with wrinkles, because that's like one of my main concerns. So I'm gonna just go ahead and blend this out. I'm doing step by step because, like I said, within his video he did say it does dry down fast, so I don't want to put it all over my face and then like have to rush because it's gonna dry, you know what I'm saying? I feel like this color is actually perfect for me, so I like that. And let's see how it is on the side of my nose, because I do have a lot of pores on the side of my nose, so it's supposed to help with texture. Before I move on to the other side of my face, I am going to set this right now. I'm taking the Huda Beauty setting powder in the shade Pound Cake with my Blendiful sponge, or whatever this is. I don't even know. But I just want to set that right away because I don't want it to get all creasy before I do this other side. So far, though, I do want to say I feel like the coverage of this is really, really good. I like it. I am very, very curious to see how it is going to wear wrinkle-wise underneath the eye, because I will say I already did notice this actually setting in my fine lines right here underneath my eye. And honestly, whenever I wear the the sharp, oh my god, the Tarte Shape Tape, and I did not just call it the Sharp. Oh my gosh, whenever I wear the Tarte Shape Tape, I don't feel like that creases up at all. So I'm going to be really, really intrigued to see how this wears, considering it obviously does have this claim of not creasing. So we're going to see about that, because honestly, this was sitting underneath my eye not even for a full minute. So we'll see. Okay, then I'm going to take some underneath this eye, just do a little dot right there, some out here, and then right here on the side of my nose. I mean, as you guys can see, I really don't use a lot. Like, y'all, some people, when they put their concealer on, they're just, whoom, like, put it on like they're putting on lip gloss. I really just don't like that much, you know, anymore. Especially, like, underneath my eyes. Even though this does say it doesn't cake up, I still get scared that it's going to cake up. You know what I'm saying? So, I just kind of avoid that. And honestly, just being honest, like, I hope this doesn't sound, like, too cocky, but I just really don't feel like I need that much, you know? Like, I'm like, yeah, okay, I do have a little bit of darkness underneath my eyes, but it's really not that bad. All right, y'all, so this is all set. It's currently 4:29. We'll just say 4:30. So I'm gonna do a little bit of a wear test with this. I don't know how long I'm gonna keep it on for, but I'm sure probably like 6 hours. So we're gonna see how it wears throughout the day. I do want to say right off the bat, I definitely do like the coverage, and I do like the consistency, as well as like the texture it leaves your skin. Like, I feel like my nose looks super, super smooth and buttery. So it's kind of living up to it, up to its name so far. I just hope it continues staying that way throughout the day, especially with all these claims that it does have. I did forget to mention as well too, I'm talking about all these concealers and stuff and the prices, y'all. I completely forgot about my all-time favorite, which is the CoverGirl, which was like the dupe for the Tarte Shape Tape. I want to see if this actually wears better than that, because honestly, y'all, that concealer is really, really good, and I believe it's like $7.99. Completely forgot about that. I do want to say right now, I definitely do think the coverage of it is like super full coverage. I'm looking in the viewfinder and I'm like, whoa, this definitely did wipe out almost all of my darkness. You guys can see a little bit right there, but once again, I was going for like a medium coverage, not full coverage. I'm sure I could have built this up. You guys saw how little bit of product I use. I didn't even take a full swipe of it. I just kind of dabbed it, you know what I mean? So anyways, currently 4:30 right now. I'll do a check-in to see how it's wearing throughout the day. I have high hopes so far. I'm actually really, really liking it, so let's see if it continues wearing that way. All right, y'all, so it's currently 9:59 right now. Let's just go ahead and say 10. So I've had this on for a little over 10 hours. As you guys can tell right now, I didn't end up throwing on a beanie because I was like, you know what, it was a little warmer outside than I had thought. So I was like, you know what, let me not wear a beanie. So I did go ahead and put some concealer on the center of my forehead. Typically I would like to keep it on for about 8 hours to see how it wears. However, I'm ready to call it a night. I'm actually really, really tired, so I'm like, you know what, this is good enough. So I do want to go ahead and point out that this is a pretty good concealer. However, I did notice major creases right here. I'm not sure if you guys, oh yeah, you guys can see it right there. And actually, when I was watching back some of this footage, because I was like, wait, I don't think I put any concealer right here. I was watching it back and I didn't. On this side, I did, however, and this crease actually looks worse than this crease. And I typically do crease up on my smile lines with just regular foundation, or even just a powder form of foundation. So I do want to go ahead and point out this is definitely not a creaseless concealer. I noticed that when I wear the Tarte Shape Tape, it creases way less than this. However, I just don't like that much coverage, and on top of that too, I do feel like it is very, very drying. This formula I don't feel like is dry. Actually, you can see right here in the center of my forehead, I'm pretty oily. That's where I get the most oily, and I wanted to put it on right there. Normally, when I do a foundation review or a concealer review, that's actually one of my problem areas because I do have a lot of fine lines and wrinkles in my forehead. However, just about like 2 months ago, I believe, I got another set of like Dysport, or a refill of Dysport. I don't know what you want to call it. I got Dysport, okay? So my forehead is pretty flat these days. That's why I was like mainly judging it around my under eye and on my smile lines, because I don't have anything right there. I do want to say underneath my eye on this one specifically. The creases are semi bad. Honestly, they're not like horrible, but they're there. It's definitely not creaseless. I do notice that when I wear the CoverGirl concealer or the Tarte Shape Tape, those definitely do sit up better in my fine lines. I think when it comes to being creaseless, the Tarte Shape Tape takes the cake. That is like literally number one when it comes to being creaseless. However, like I said, to me, it's just too much coverage these days, and it's just a little bit too drying. Like I feel like it's just like bam, you know what I'm saying? And I like my skin to look a little bit more dewy these days, a little bit more natural, a little bit more glowy, you know? Even though I am oily, at the end of the day, I look pretty horrible, but in the beginning of the day, I look good. Anyways, overall, I want to say this is a good concealer. Is it worth $25? I'm gonna be honest, I don't really think so, because I would probably prefer or recommend the CoverGirl concealer a little bit more than this, and that is under like $10. I'll put a picture of the one that I'm talking about right here, because I feel like that one is super, super good, especially for the price. It is a dupe for the Tarte Shape Tape. The Tarte Shape Tape is $27. This is $25. The CoverGirl one is like, I want to say it's like under 10 bucks. I'm pretty sure it's like $7.99, you know, and that one is absolutely amazing. This one may have better ingredients in it, you know, obviously with the peptides, with the mango butter and avocado butter and stuff like that. So I do think, okay, you get what you pay for as far as ingredients, but I kind of do feel like the CoverGirl one does set better in my skin, you know. Overall, though, I do say I like this. Like, if I had to rate this on a scale from 1 to 10, I would put it at a 7. Like, I feel like it's pretty good. It's just not the best, you know? When it comes to creases, the creases are definitely there. I do want to say, though, it did a great job of concealing. I feel like I used just a little bit, and a little bit went a long way. So it's definitely a good covering concealer. Just whenever I wear a concealer, I'm really looking for like being creaseless, because I have so many fine lines and wrinkles, and like this to me, y'all, this is only 5 hours, you know, well, what, like 5.5 hours into the day. So can you imagine if I had this on for 10 hours? It would look horrible right here. Like, that looks really, really bad. Like, so I kind of feel like if I kept it on longer, it probably would have got worse. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, overall, though, I do feel like it is a pretty good concealer, but for $25, I would have to keep it real with you guys, and I would have to recommend the CoverGirl concealer. I just feel like that one is absolutely amazing, especially for the price point. So, another question I wanted to ask you guys is, I actually just picked up the new Fit Me Tinted Moisturizer. If you guys want a review of that, let me know. I just picked it up. I am really not the tinted moisturizer type of person. I really do enjoy a like lightweight coverage foundation or a light to medium coverage foundation. But when it comes to tinted moisturizers, y'all, in my experience of trying any tinted moisturizer, I don't know what it is within my skin. They just look horrible with my fine lines and wrinkles, and then like the coverage gets splotchy. So I'm really intrigued to see that, because if y'all did not know, I used to love the Fit Me foundation. So I was like, oh, let me try that one out. So I'm really intrigued about that. But if you guys don't want to review, then I won't do a review. But if you guys want a review, then I will. So anyways, if you guys have this concealer, make sure you guys let me know how you like it. Make sure you guys let me know how you like the brand overall. Like, what are you guys feeling about One Size Beauty? I know that the powder went viral. However, I didn't pick that up because, like I said, the Makeup Forever Matte Velvet Skin is just, ooh, that's my jam. I absolutely love that powder. But yeah, overall, I feel like the brand is pretty good. I liked the Go Off setting spray. Oh my gosh, the Go Off makeup removing spray, and this is pretty good too. Like I said, it's not the best, but it's pretty good. Anyways, make sure you guys let me know your thoughts and opinions on everything, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Peace out, Girl Scout.